Hi guys, welcome to episode 1 of Natters That Matter.
I'm Jason.
I'm Shannon.
And I'm Aaron.
And today, the very first season, and does the season have a title?
No.
Okay. But the episode title is...
Do podcasts have seasons?
Some
No,
do.
they don't. Actually, I don't know why I wrote that. I'm just so used to Froggy Adventures that I wrote season 1, episode 1. So
I
yeah.
want seasons in this, though. They'll be really long seasons, but they'll still be seasons.
Right.
What is a season anyways in a podcast?
Well, this is actually a good segue. That's a good question. What is a season? Because our episode title is So You Want to Go to an Amusement Park. And one thing to keep in mind, depending on most amusement parks, they come in seasons. Like, they're only open... I know.
Yes, but
most, I'd say a vast majority of them do operate seasonally.
And guess what?
So...
When this podcast comes out, a lot of those amusement parks are currently closed for the season.
That's true.
Yeah, a lot of them are. Unfortunately for us, we love where we live, but in the Midwest, almost everything shuts down between January through March. So we're SOL for going on coasters or going on rides, unless we hop a plane down south or we hop a plane out west.
Or we hop a plane across
overseas?
the world.
Yeah. Well, that one's not as likely for this year. This year is plenty booked, as you'll find out as the episodes go along. But for this very first episode, I thought we'd just lay down just the very basics so everybody knows what we're talking about. We'll go into...
We're going to lay down.
No, see?
I want to sleep. I'm tired.
No. Nobody cares. Nobody wants to hear that. What they want to hear are... these things that I wrote down and the fun fact.
You shouldn't move your paper so much.
Yeah, I know. It's good to have a little background noise. They can hear I mean business by slamming my papers down. This is what we're going to talk. Well, not constantly. I'll do it for effect. If I do it all the time, it's just annoying. All right, season 1, episode 1. So you want to go to an amusement park, like we were just discussing. When you want to go to an amusement park, first thing is, what are you looking for your family? Are you a thrill ride person or not? For the longest time, up until, 3 months ago?
Yeah.
We weren't a thrill ride family. We had thrill ride parents and someone who was less than excited to go on the bigger rides. But now, thankfully, this year...
Actually, last summer, he stayed home for a lot of times when Mommy and Daddy...
A lot of times. That's twice, but yeah.
Well, a few times, but if he would have liked roller coasters, I'm sure he would have been with us, riding them
Absolutely.
Next to us.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I'm really looking forward to Great America this season. Because, we're going to be going on everything. Yeah. But anyway, we'll get back to that. Seasons. Time of year is really important on planning to go to an amusement park. Except for, even if you go to Disneyland or Knott's Berry Farm or places that are open all year long, it's still good to know. All right, mommy wants to talk.
Well, I want to talk, and you just keep going and going and going. Jeez, this isn't a Daddy podcast.
Yeah, but people can talk for a while in podcasts too.
I know, but I wanted to interject and say something, but he just keeps going without a breath and he never stops, and then I can't talk. But anyways.
Interject.
Well, you were saying time of year really matters. Well, yeah, obviously, because if you were planning a trip right now to go to, let's say, some Six Flags park, well, guess what? They're all closed except for one, Fiesta Texas.
But you know what? It makes sense. Some people don't think that far ahead. For some people, they'll go and they'll be like, oh, I didn't know these rides were going to be closed. Oh, I didn't know they were only going to be open on weekends. It's not uncommon.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So you should look at the calendar and, make sure your park's even going to be open, because a lot of these parks won't even be open until the end of March now.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything to add about...
seasons? No.
Yeah.
I don't have anything to add.
Yeah, there's not really a whole lot to add.
There's not really much to talk about seasons.
No, just to make
Actually, I have another thing to add about the seasons.
What's another thing you need to add about the seasons?
Well, if you like water rides, don't go in the fall or even after Labor Day. Even sometimes the Labor Day weekend, the water rides are already closed. So if you really like water rides, I suggest go in the middle of the summer.
Okay. That makes sense as well. Good point. Because even when we were even though we knew they were going to be closed, we were at Texas in end of December, and even early January, and we were wishing the water parks would be open because it's warm in Texas.
Not water parks.
Well, they were closed, but we wish they were open on a couple of those days because it was bordering on hot. But
like Schlitterbahn.
No, not even Schlitterbahn, but like Hurricane Harbor or Stormalong Bay or whatever. What was the one that's attached to Fiesta, Texas? Armadillo Beach. Well,
that's what it used to be called.
Yeah,
but now
anyway.
It's called like I don't remember. Watering Hole.
But anyway, it would have been nice if they're open, but they're open seasonally, so that's something to keep in mind.
Well, I'm talking about water rides too, like flumes.
Oh, yeah.
And the Raging Rapid rides, like those big inner tube rides, like that sit 8 people.
Right. Those
are usually closed, and sometimes, like we went to St. Louis, Six Flags St. Louis once, and even over Labor Day weekend, they were already closed and the water was drained.
That's because I think they were doing something for the.
Well, no, even Great America did it over Labor Day weekend this year too.
Yeah, weird. But that's true, and that was one of the weird instances. They closed the Rapids ride, they drained it even, but they still had the water park going.
Yeah,
that was weird.
And it was hot, and it's always hot still in September here, anyways, most of the time.
That's true. All right, the most confusing next topic, because we really can't dive too deep into this, but pricing. Holy cow, can it get confusing depending on when you want to go, how long you're going to be there, if you're going to go to any other parks, because what you see online will be cheaper than what you can get at the gate. Never pay gate prices for anything except for the Disney parks, right? Even for the Disney parks, you shouldn't pay gate prices.
The Disney parks, you can go on Undercover Tourist and get cheaper tickets.
Yeah, and Undercover...
Or you can try to do some vacation math and see if it's worth...
What's vacation math?
Vacation math is figuring out if it's worth getting like an annual pass or season pass, because a lot of parks have perks for annual pass or season pass members. And then, it ends up being way cheap.
Unless you travel with... I think we're lucky in the sense that we're only a family of 3. So buying 3 APs is a little easier than if you're a family of 5 or 6.
That's true.
But
there's a lot of things to keep in mind. That come with it, and even one person could get an annual pass and still the whole team or group could benefit from the perks of that one person with the annual pass.
Oh, yeah, like pass. If they get discount on dining, usually, the one person can pay for the entire table. It's not like every person has to show their 10% off card or 15 or whatever.
About, like at Six Flags, for instance, they have Bring a Friend for Free days. Well, let's say your family isn't going to go every single day of the year, but like one person has annual pass in your family, well then maybe 2 people have annual passes that like really like to go on rides, and then the days where they can bring a friend for free, they can bring other people in the family for free that don't really want to go all the time.
I just want to go back to Undercover Tourist just for a second. That's how we got Disneyland tickets. And that's how you can get... I don't know if that's how we got Disney World tickets for Aaron's next trip to Disney World. I don't think it is. But anyway, it's all official. Like, it's all official tickets. I wouldn't buy any tickets through eBay or Amazon or Craigslist. Undercover Tourist, they're the only one I can say for sure, but it's 100%. You don't have to worry about it. Never, ever buy tickets through eBay.
And if you see fast passes on eBay, do not buy them.
That's true, too. What do you have to add about pricing? Well, actually,
no, I have nothing to say.
I was going to say
because I pretty much know nothing about the pricing.
Why is that?
Because I don't pay attention to that sort of stuff.
Yeah, because you don't have to pay for a darn thing. So that's kind of nice. Yeah.
Well, don't you pay attention to how much your pretzels cost?
No.
Why not? Silence. Podcast's best friend.
They're like $7.99.
But
we don't pay a dime.
Well, we prepaid.
At Six Flags anyways.
Right.
Because we're on the dining pass.
Yeah, so you get a free snack.
But at Disney, we have to pay for it.
Well, yeah, at Disney we pay.
Well, Disney, you could have a dining... What is it called?
No, not at Disneyland. The dining plan?
Yeah.
Oh, you could.
At Disney World.
And Nana and Aaron are going to have the dining plan. That's kind of fun to have.
Yeah.
One last thing about pricing for tickets. Yeah, it's always good to look like if online, and you can always get, like, for a lot of places like Cedar Point, Six Flags, they usually hand out a bunch of discounts, like, coupon codes. It's just smart to do your homework. You can save a lot of money if you just want to go to the, like, let's say, I want to go to Great America today. You drive up there, you spend the $28 to park, and then you go up to this ticket booth. I think it's like $78 a person if you just go up with no discounts, no nothing.
Well, that's crazy because you can buy a 4-pack for $70, and then your parking is free.
Is a 4-pack 70? Oh, what's 4-pack? Oh, per person.
Yeah, per person.
Oh, for the season pass. You skipped that part. It's like 4-pack.
Well, yeah, but then if you think about it, right there alone, you're spending $70
times 4.
but you're just saying you spent 78 plus 28.
Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah, for the people who are not, who don't.
So you're almost getting another whole half of a season pass right there.
Yeah. We shouldn't go too deep into it because then we're gonna have to write down. We'll break out the calculator, and we don't need to do that because
we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we can go into bigger depths in later episodes.
Oh yeah, and if anybody wants to ask us questions about anything, that's fun for us. We love helping break down, vacation math, how to get your most bang for your buck.
We're really good at it.
We're very good at it. All right, the next thing you want to keep in mind, I guess I should have done this in order, but I'm doing this out of order, is the hours of the theme park is important to keep in mind. For example, the hours at Great America before Memorial Day are a lot shorter than after Memorial Day. So you gotta make sure the day you're going, it's not open 10 to 6 or 12 to 6 like they are in the winter.
And to add to that, anytime you're going to a theme park, amusement park, carnival, get there before it opens.
Oh yeah, that we're gonna say that a bunch of times, like probably throughout this entire podcast run. Yeah, the number one most important thing is getting there early, like at least a half hour before the park is officially open.
And if you're going to Legoland in California, get there 2 hours before they open because I don't know
it'll
when
already
they
be open
actually
anyway. All right, we can get into that later. But yeah, the Legoland California, that one was very confusing.
Yeah, Legoland California is pretty confusing.
Yeah, we were there 20 minutes before rope drop. That's the opening of the park, if you don't know that term. And it was already jam-packed, and people were already going on rides and stuff.
Yeah, it was weird.
And it was 20 minutes before it was supposed to open.
Yeah, that was strange. What do you think about... But the only drawback if it's like July 20th on a Saturday, and you say, oh good, they're going to be open 10:30 to 10 p.m. Just think of that'll be one of the busiest days of the year as well. That's one of the trade-offs. You have to think about crowds because between Memorial Day and Labor Day, that's just.
I'm going to give you an insider tip though.
Well, we don't give too many of them.
I know, I kind of don't want to tell you guys this, but if you're listening to this podcast, you deserve an insider tip.
All right.
If you are going on a super busy day and you don't want to spend money on a flash pass or fast pass or skip the line or whatever it's called.
Are you going to say something like illegal or
no?
Okay, then what are you going to suggest? I'm worried about your answer.
Go to the very back of the park because most people will just go to the first thing they see.
Like Superman Ultimate Flight.
Well, if you're at Great America.
Well, yeah. Well, for example, our home park.
Yeah, our home park, everyone's going to go to Wizard or Superman Ultimate Flight.
Well, it's going to change this year.
Well, everyone's going to go to Max Force because that's before
that
Wizard.
It's not Ultimate or... It is Max Force?
Yeah, it is Max Force.
Okay. Anyway.
Because we've walked around the park plenty of times and, guess what has the short line? American Eagle and Goliath. Why? Because they're at the back of the park. Jinx.
Yeah, especially this year. I bet we can get... Once Max Force opens, I bet we can go on Goliath 3 or 4 times real quick. But yeah, anyway, that's a very good tip. Yeah, go straight to the back and then work your way to the front. It'll still be busy at the front, but at least you have gotten on a bunch of rides.
What topic are we in now?
We are on dining.
You start.
Okay, so let's start off. I'm going to talk about Disneyland. If you are dining at Disneyland, it is recommended to mobile order. So that way, you don't have to wait for your food in the line. You just have to be at the restaurant when you press, okay, I'm here. And then you'll be able to get your food as soon as you get there.
Yeah, I'm going to add to that.
That's actually a really good tip.
It is
I wasn't even gonna say that.
They also are starting to roll this out at Six Flags parks because they do this at Over Texas now, and it's awesome.
That's really nice.
And you can even use it with your season dining pass, which is even more awesome because they have it at Six Flags Great America.
But I think they got away with it.
But I believe you couldn't use your season dining pass. You could only pay for your food there. But it's really awesome. Mobile ordering is the future.
Well, it is just nice. I mean, you don't have to wait in a long line. Although at Disneyland, it's a lot easier than at Six Flags, but still, it's a pain in the butt. And it's fun ordering on the app because you can choose if you want extra pickles or whatever. I mean, you're not strictly choosing cheeseburger, fries, Coke. You can customize the order. So if you're allergic to onions, ask for no onions.
The only downside as of right now at Disney is you can't tie a gift card to your mobile ordering account, which kind of stinks because you can save 5% at Target.
How do you save 5% at Target?
You can save 5% at Target on all of your Disney vacations if you buy Disney gift cards with your Target Red card.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you don't like having only like $50, $100 Disney gift card, you can go to DisneyGiftCard.com and combine them all up to $1,000.
Yes, trust us, we know.
But that's awesome because let's say you're going on this isn't really theme park related, but let's say you're going on a Disney cruise. Well, that Disney cruise could cost $5,000.
Right.
If you save 5%,
yeah, that's nice. That's
a significant. That's like what, $250, right?
Yeah.
That's enough to pay for all the tips for a 7-day cruise.
That's easy free money that you're saving $250.
Right.
And as long as you're paying off the Target card every month, you're just exchanging cash for gift card money, which you're going to be spending anyway. And then if you tie it in with Disney Rewards, like if you have a Disney Rewards card or Disney Visa.
Okay, are we gonna go?
You can't do it on top of it, though.
You can't.
Are we gonna go on to expectations? Are we gonna go on to expectations now?
No.
Oh.
One more thing about dining. It's actually more important than mobile ordering.
I know something. I know what you're gonna say.
Can I say it once? You're saying it a lot lately. Scooch back over. It's never eat lunch between 12:30 and 1:30, and don't have dinner between 6 and 7. Just avoid. I don't care if that's when you usually get hungry. You're gonna eat as soon as the restaurants open, about 10:30 or 11.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
10:30.
Yeah, as soon as they open, take a look, and sometimes they might open early depending on how crowded it'll be. But just get there and eat early because you don't want to waste park time waiting in line to eat, trying to find a table to eat. That's valuable time.
And the nice thing is, usually you get there when it opens. Let's say they open at 8 a.m.
Okay.
You go on as many rides as you can before that lunchtime at 10:30.
Right.
And then you eat lunch till 11:30, let's say. You see what other rides you can possibly get on. But if you can't get on any rides, then maybe go see some shows. And then by the afternoon, little kids that have been there since the morning get tired. They need to go and take naps. The lines usually die down a little bit.
Yeah, it depends on where you are.
I know, but just in case. And then you can eat an early dinner because you're hungry because you had breakfast. You had lunch at 10:30.
Right. You should have dinner, even though it's going to sound like you're 80. You should have dinner between 3:30 and 4.
Or 4:30.
Yeah, somewhere between there. Depends, because for some dining plans, I don't think you can have dinner
until 4:30.
Well, the nice thing about Cedar Point, because this is the first time we're going to have Cedar Fair season passes, and Cedar, they handle it a little differently. Your lunch and dinner just has to be at least 4 hours.
Guys, we can eat our lunch at 10:30 and our dinner at 2:30.
Wow,
we're really
4. All right. Was there anything else dining wise? And I guess.
Aaron might have said something.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, I don't have anything to say.
You might be to go to Burger King.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. It's a waste of your energy and time. If you want to keep sandwiches in the car, like if you're keeping it a cooler, that's fine. I guess. Just don't leave the park and come back unless it's super easy. Disney World, that's an exception to the rule. But of course, if you're leaving the park to eat somewhere else, you're still paying a lot of money no matter where you're going, unless you're going off property.
Well, for Disney World, if just to get off property and eat.
Yeah, that's we're not going to talk specifics about that. I'm sure once we talk over our Disney World tips, we're going to go park by park and we'll explain our pros and cons and what we do at this particular park. This is just a general overview.
Right, exactly.
All right, moving on. Expectations. This is an important one because a lot of people go. I've seen this happen at Great America everywhere we go. late, which you should never do. Rule number 1, get there a rope drop. But they come in at about 12:30. Get their tickets. They grab a map. They look at it. All right, guys, what do you want to do? Decide what they want to do, and they spend about 10 minutes just arguing over that, and their day at 12:30 in the afternoon already starts with a fight. They're first-time visitors, and they don't know where to go. Please don't be those people. You're not gonna be making the most of your time, and it's gonna be more frustrating.
Plan
no,
the place that you're going. It just means like, don't get a map. Just go.
Well, okay. Well, speaking of that, why wouldn't most people look at maps and plan their visit well ahead of time so they're ready to go?
Because it's not as fun.
I agree that they don't know what we like to do. What do we like to do, Aaron?
We like to plan it out.
Well, it depends. For Disneyland, Disney World, you're right. We like to plan that out. But what's for Six Flags Over Texas and Six Flags Fiesta Texas?
But Disneyland, when I first went, I never even saw a map, and I just explored.
Right. So what did we do at Six Flags Fiesta Texas and Over Texas?
We just explored and looked around. And
yeah, we went there completely blind. We didn't know what we were going to find. I had no idea how many coasters either one had. We tried it. That's part of the fun for us, exploring, looking at it with new eyes. But with that in mind, we also could see, oh, well, that's obviously going to get a long line. We should go there first. Or let's explore the back of the park, but we got to do this in a somewhat quick. The
only downside of doing this is you can easily miss the whole section of the park.
Oh, we would never do
over
that.
Texas.
That would never happen. Oh, it did happen. Yeah, you forgot. But luckily, we were there for 2 days.
Yeah. If we weren't there for 2 days, well, that would have been sad. We would have missed
a unique dark coaster.
Yeah.
It wasn't the greatest dark coaster, but it was unique. I'm glad we did it twice.
3 times.
But expectations. No, like if you're traveling with the 3 of us now, the way all 3 of us are, Aaron's 12, Shannon and I are adults. Almost. Shannon and I are adults, so we're all thrill seekers now. So we all know if we see a coaster in the back of a park, it's not a question. All 3 of us are going to go. But if you're traveling with a 2-year-old and a 70-year-old, if you're traveled with a mixed group, you got to let everybody in the group should know what everybody's expecting. Like, let's say the adults want to go on Goliath at the back of the park, but the kids want to go straight to Camp Cartoon. What's it called?
Camp Cartoon.
Yeah, Camp Cartoon. And then right off the bat, there's going to be nobody really knows what they're going to do first or next. So having plans of who's going to do what with whom will just make the day go smoothly.
How would they know if they have never been in the park before, like that they want to go on Goliath? Well, you told them not to look at a map.
Well, once they get there, they see this. I guess before you go, even if you have no idea what the park holds, keep in mind, like, say, okay, if there's an exciting ride that the little kids don't want to go on, maybe you two should find something appropriate instead of waiting for us. Instead of like, oh, you want to go on the big rides? I didn't know you wanted to go on the big rides. What should we be doing? And then you guys are spending more time being upset with each other. And you know that happens. So it's good to avoid conflicts before they happen. But they are going to happen anyway. But it's nice to minimize them. And I'm sorry if I use our home park, Great America, a lot. Hopefully some of you know what I'm talking about. It's just easy to use that as an example, even though it probably doesn't help anybody that's listening from outside the country or from other parts of the U.S. And I'm sure there's millions of you. All right.
Not yet,
you mean
at least.
One person in New Hampshire?
Not yet, at least.
No, 2 people.
Who's the other person in Palatine?
Yeah, in Palatine.
Not yet.
Shout out to Palatine in Manchester.
Not yet. At least there might be we might have a large audience like in a few months.
Right, exactly. And they'll come back, listen to the first episode. They'll think it's funny and cute how unprofessional we are and how we didn't even have an intro yet and we didn't have our spiels yet. So I think this will be like our humble beginnings. But going forward, the next thing I wrote it down and now I don't know what to do about it. But it is what to do. Yeah, what to do, what not to do. General theme park, amusement park ideas. What should you do? will silence my old friend.
What should you do? What should you not do?
Yeah.
What you should not do. You start, Daddy.
Okay. What you should not do is waste time and be decisive. Like if.
Don't be decisive?
No, is to not waste time and to be decisive.
Oh.
Like if you're all quibbling about a flat ride that some people want to go on but other people don't, just say, all right, either wait for me at the exit or
we'll meet here in
right,
a
or
half
we'll
an
meet
hour.
right, or we'll meet here in a half hour. But just just do what you want to do. That's the point of being at an amusement park. And thankfully, in today's age. Man, that makes me sound old. But almost everybody has a cell phone, so splitting up is not the problem it was 10, 15 years ago. If you split up, just call or send a text, and then you can meet back up relatively easily.
Oh, yeah.
I would recommend, if you like a group of 3, we don't split up that often. Sometimes I'll go on a ride with Aaron, or Shannon will go on a ride with Aaron, and I'll be behind taking videos or pictures or whatever. But for the most part, it's not a problem. But if you're traveling with a group of 4 or larger, the splitting up is almost inevitable.
You already said that in the last bullet point.
Splitting up?
Yeah, some people go on Goliath and some people go on the kid ride.
All right, well, give me another what to do, what not to do.
What to do, what not to do?
At an amusement park, or do you have not any tips at all on that?
We already said them all.
All of them? They already know everything they need to do and everything they don't need to do?
No.
Okay, say something.
I don't know.
Hot day, going to water park. It's going to sound dumb. You're going to hear it all the time, but it's super important. Sunscreen.
And don't drink lots of pop.
Yeah, switch.
Lemonade, water.
All right, yeah. Don't drink
Wear comfortable shoes if it's raining. Don't wear tennis shoes if you're going to go on water rides.
Yeah, just general in the summer, don't wear socks. It just makes, I don't know, wear flip-flops or Crocs or something. Flip-flops or crops.
Not sponsored.
Yeah, well, they're not sponsored. I don't know. We don't have any sponsors yet.
Well, I mean, Crocs is a trademark, so.
Well, you can say it.
Yeah, I know.
I could even bash them if I want, but anyway. But
I like Crocs.
Yeah, so do I.
Although they're kind of expensive these days.
And they're ugly, but I mean.
Outlets.
Okay, let's get off this tangent. This tangent about Crocs.
All right. I thought we should give some real examples of. This is how it's going to be tied in. What to do, what not to do. I'd like to talk about some of the things we've done on our vacations where we excelled, and some of our vacation plans that just backfired, and what we did about it. Aaron, can you think of any plans that went less than ideal for any of the trips we went on the last 11 years?
The Walt Disney World trip that was like 15 days long, and we did nothing but Walt Disney World.
Well, okay, I agree that was a problem, but I don't think this is going to be a problem. Very many, if anybody listening. Yeah, so we can skip that one.
Okay.
No, but I agree. 15 straight days at Disney World is way too much.
Yeah.
Don't ever try to do 15 because, like, especially us, we don't
Was it 15 in a row?
I think so.
Yeah.
Wow, I thought there was a cruise in there.
No, we don't do pool days. We don't do laundry days like some people, downtown Disney days. We basically just go to the park day after day after day after day. All that walking.
Yeah, that got old quick. But
I don't know
think
how we did it, man. I don't think I could do it now.
No. You'd have to throw in a pool day there or something. But even then, that's just too long. If you're going to Disney World, 8 or 9 days, that's good.
11 tops.
Yeah. A minimum of 5. Or you're just going to be missing a lot of stuff. But, okay, do you have any...
And you'll just be leaving sad.
Yeah. Do you have any good plans that we had or bad plans that we had?
Well, not
Preferably...
plans, but whatever you asked before was a different wording. But what came to my mind is don't have high expectations if you're going anywhere with a 3-year-old/toddler. Because they have minds of their own.
Yeah.
One trip we went with Aaron when he was 3 to Disney World.
Do you remember that one?
No, he was only 3.
And he didn't even want to go on It's a Small World.
Even though we went on it the year before.
Yes. So guess what we had to do? He went on it some days of the trip, but on the very last day we were at the Magic Kingdom. We wanted to go on rides, but he didn't. And he
Even the silliest little ones.
Right, he just did not want to go on rides, and they definitely can throw fits and stuff. So
yeah, that's one of the few times Aaron actually did. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
It was very unusual.
And so, trying to think of something else to do instead. We walked around the park and
Is that the pickle thing?
Yeah, and we saw somebody with a pickle, and we're like, "Oh my god, that looks amazing! Where do you get that?" So the rest of the day, we didn't go on any rides. We just were on the search of the pickle.
Yeah, that was actually pretty fun. Yeah. And we could have asked somebody about it, but we just turned it into a game. We saw a pickle. Where is that pickle? Yeah, that's a good, good to make out of a bad situation, have some fun out of it.
Right, exactly. And now it's like a good memory instead of being like getting frustrated, leaving the park because he wouldn't go on rides and just ruining your whole day. Just do something like focus your energy on something else and make it fun.
Yeah, I like that idea. Do you have any other of our good plans or our bad plans?
No, not really.
Let's see. I can think of some of our bad plans. I can think of plenty of our bad plans. We, actually, I guess I should say mainly me, like for some of you parents who want your kids to go on bigger rides, and then they might talk a big game, like say, oh yeah, I'll go on that for sure. And then you get there, and then they're less than enthused, and you're going to like, I'm not. This is not Bash Aaron Day, I promise. And then you get there, and then he decides he's not ready for it yet, and the dude's 7, so you should give him a break. But anyway, you can get in your mind that you just wasted a whole trip. This is falling along, but if you're if you're like at Great America, you can't really do a pickle hunt. You just you should be prepared that your son or daughter or grandmother or whatever might not be up to the things they might be up to. You just got to keep that in mind. Because that's happened to us a few times, like going to Great America, and we ended up doing next to nothing because we got a little frustrated with Aaron, and because of our faults, we kind of ruined the day. That's something, thankfully, that's behind us, but it could pop up one day. I mean, Aaron hasn't done all the different types of coasters. I can see Aaron being a little apprehensive for going on
Fury.
No, not Fury. I think he's fine with Fury. With Joker and Rise with that. Like, yeah. Superman Ultimate Flight. Coaster. Yeah. Or, even though I don't consider it a coaster, they consider Mardi Gras Hangover the Super Loop, where it's just a giant circle and the coaster goes inside the track. That's something might hold him apprehension. But speaking of Fury 325, over spring break, we're going to be going to Atlanta, North Carolina, and Tennessee. And for those who don't know, that coaster is 325 feet tall. And that's by far the tallest coaster I've ever been on. Tallest traditional coaster I've ever been on. But I convinced Aaron that it's not that bad. Do you remember how I convinced you it's not that bad?
No.
It's just basically, we went on Titan, which is at Six Flags Over Texas, which is 265. And you
didn't know that at first.
Well, I didn't know. No, well, that's true. I know this now. But at the time, when we went on it, I intentionally didn't know how tall Titan was because I didn't want to tell Aaron, then Aaron would have not gone on it. So I was willfully ignorant, so I didn't have to lie to him. Anyway, all you have to do is add Titan's Drop, which wasn't that bad, was it?
No.
No, that wasn't that bad. You just add Splash Mountain's Hill to the top of Titan's Hill, and then boom, you're on Fury. And if you look at it like that...
That's nothing.
Right, exactly. It's not that big a deal. So, right. Does it sound that big a deal, right? No. Yeah. So, I'm not worried about that one.
That's cool. That's exciting.
Yeah, it is exciting.
We'll see what happens when we get there.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm sure we'll have... we'll do that at the end. But, yeah, you'll be caught up to date on that. I thought I had more... I thought the three of us would have more of our bad plannings. Like we
don't really have bad plans.
Not now.
We're so good.
Well, now we are.
Even back then we were good.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess we were always good.
We always know the tricks and the tips.
But give an example of why did our Texas trip go so well, even though we didn't know any of the
Because
parts?
we did a lot of audibles.
That's a very good thing to do.
Because one of the days it was going to be raining, thunderstorming. Six Flags.
Like there was hurricanes in there, or
tornadoes warnings.
In there. Yeah.
Fiesta Texas might have even closed that day. I don't know, but
I didn't look at it.
The day we were planning on going there was tornado warnings in the area, so we called an audible and we switched our whole vacation around. But Some people might not be able to do that. But just when you book a hotel room, try to book refundable hotel rooms or ones that you can cancel and switch around. Because that's very helpful when stuff like that happens.
Yeah, if you're being gone for multiple days and you know you're planning to go to an amusement park, I mean, pencil in the day you really want to go, but keep in mind weather might, disrupt your plans. So if you can move around your days, that is so incredibly helpful. I mean, it really pretty much saved our Texas trip. So
and we got an extra day at Fiesta Texas because we switched stuff around.
Right, and I'm glad we did because Fiesta Texas is a great little park. I liked it. Very well themed. But we'll go over that on another episode. Yeah.
Natters that matter.
Yeah. All right. So I don't really have much more to say except for, do you have any final suggestions about, so you want to go to an amusement park. What would be the first things you tell this person to help them plan their trip?
Just stop. Don't. Sorry. Don't go on a ride and then think that you're okay. I don't know where I was going with that.
Don't go on a ride. Okay, that's Aaron's tip.
No,
don't go on a ride.
My tip is don't be a chicken. Just try it.
Well, that's a good point. Yeah.
Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I was gonna say something about fast passes, but I didn't know where I was going with it, so I didn't.
Actually, that's a good point. We can go back to our suggestions. Is fast passes, Disneyland, Disney World, those are free. Everywhere else, I gotta imagine everywhere else that I know of, it costs extra.
Except if you're a Six Flags season pass member, you do get a front of the line pass, depending on what level you are.
Well, yeah, if you're Diamond or Diamond Elite, and that's a membership, not a season pass. It gets really confusing. We'll go over that on one of the Six Flags episodes. But if it's a super busy day and it's important for you to go on all the coasters, it might make sense to bite the bullet and buy like a flash pass or a
But if
pass.
it's super busy like it was on December 30th at Magic Mountain, don't even bother with a flash pass, just leave it.
Turn around and go home.
Yeah, when it's backed up miles and miles before you even get close to the parking lot, why are you even trying?
Well, first of all, if you're showing up and it's miles and miles backed up, you didn't listen to us from the beginning of this episode, which was get there early. Because even if you got there on a super busy day, if you get there a half hour, 45 minutes before official park opening, I still bet you can go on at least 3 coasters before it gets insanely
So you think
dumb.
on December 30th, Magic Mountain 2018, when it was a Bring Your Friend for Free day.
Well, yeah. It was a perfect storm of...
Half an hour before park opens, there wasn't any line. And
no, I'm sure there were lines. I'm sure there were lines for coasters, but I bet you it was manageable until about 11:30. Especially knowing Californians, they show up till late. That's why everybody showed up.
Yeah, that's true.
You're making it sound like we were there for this.
No, we were. I just showed them the video. Yeah, we were in Texas at the time, but we were...
At Magic Mountain about a month before that.
And it was
crazy day. And we had the park to ourselves, basically.
We were on our cruise at that time.
Right, we were on our cruise at the time. But we saw the videos, and it was just insane how we had the park to ourselves. I wouldn't say almost literally, but it was really close.
Almost literally.
Yeah.
Like,
for
was
a while.
that one Ninja? No, not Ninja. Well, Ninja was a walk-on, and we literally got off the ride. We were
Scream
able
was a walk-on,
to
too.
go to the back of the coaster
and
just
that's true.
ride it again
That's
without
true.
a cycle.
And you can...
And
wait,
oh sorry, go ahead.
You can talk after I talk. And you can see all this on my YouTube channel at Our Big California Trip is the name of the series.
Yeah, I was gonna plug that at the end.
And his YouTube channel is Aaron Press the Button.
Yeah, I was gonna plug that at the end.
Okay, I'll say no.
Okay, so yeah, and also was it X-Flight? No,
X2.
not X2. X-Flight's at Six Flags Great America. X2 is literally a walk-on. In the video we watched of Magic Mountain on December 30th, all the switchbacks were open.
And it's a
and
lot.
Full.
It was a lot of switchbacks. And it was going back to the bridge.
Yeah, and their line was jetting out past all the switchbacks. All the way to
People
the
have to
bridge.
see the video or else they wouldn't really care. They don't know how big this crowd was, but it was huge.
Yeah, it was huge.
Right.
Look at the videos, December 30th, Magic Mountain 2018, if you want to see this craziness.
Yeah. All right, I forgot what I was going to say. That took me off track. I guess it wasn't that big a deal.
Oh, get there early, you were saying. Get fast passes.
Oh, yeah.
But I was saying fast passes wouldn't even have helped you that day.
Well, no, it's true. But the people who really want to go on coasters maybe don't have to buy a flash pass for everybody. But if you're not going to be coming back in years, then maybe it's worth spending the extra $100. But it really depends on how much money you have.
But then it's $100 per person, and then that just adds on top of your admission cost, and that's crazy.
Yeah, it can't. Yeah, there's a lot of hidden costs with amusement parks. Like doing the flash pass, getting your picture taken at the end.
And at SeaWorld, there's even more hidden costs.
We'll get to that later. All right, we should probably wrap this one up. I mean, we've talked a little too general. We're starting to talk specifically about certain parks, and we should focus that on a different episode. So we're going to wrap this up for now. You should follow Aaron on YouTube. What's the name of your channel?
Aaron Press the Button.
Yeah, Aaron Press the Button. He has great videos, not just about Aaron Press the Button parks, where there's so many different amusement parks we've been to where you can see our video catalog. But he also does a lot of things like video games. We have a show called Froggy Adventures. It's kind of like a puppet show that goes off the rails pretty quickly.
But it's not puppets. It's stuffed animals.
Yeah.
Feisty pets.
No, we're not getting a feisty pet. All right. So do we have an outro song for Natters That Matter?
Yes.
Oh, wait. Before we leave, the last episode we didn't do it. Why did we choose the title Natters That Matter?
Because
we were
looking up Conversation Bullet Train.
And
that was going to be our original title?
Conversation Bullet Train was the beta title for this podcast.
Yeah,
but then we looked up synonyms for conversation, and we found natter. And then I was thinking, like, things that rhyme with natter, and I thought matter. And then I was like, Natters That Matter.
Yeah, did you show Aaron that if you Google Natters That Matter, the first thing that pops up is your intro on YouTube.
Nothing else does.
Yeah.
You're so unique.
So hopefully we don't start a trend and everybody's going to start using that phrase.
It's ours, trademark.
People. I was just about to say we need to buy the URL and we need to
trademark Natters That Matter. So it's ours.
So that no one else can call their podcast Natters That Matter.
No one else can call anything Natters That Matter, or else we're suing your butts.
With that wonderful outro, we'll talk to you later. Our next episode will be about. Should we start with Disney World or Disneyland or
whatever you guys want? Tell us in the comments.
I don't think we have comments. Oh, on the YouTube, yeah. Tell us in the comments.
What do you want to hear about? Six Flags, Cedar Point,
Cedar Point. I hope they don't ask us about Cedar Point.
Cedar Fair Parks.
We can only tell them about one.
The next episode will be on Sunday.
Really? It'll be on the day Sunday? Is there an amusement park called Sunday?
No, it's going to be on Sunday because our schedule for Natters That Matter.
I think we should just do it once a week.
Well, we'll see. We don't hold us to any schedule because right now
we're fresh.
There might be a new one tomorrow. Who the heck knows? Okay. All right, and we'll talk to you guys later.
Natters that matter, natters that matter, natters that matter, natters that matter, yeah.